Koby from the Liberdy project. So Koby, can you explain to the Korean audience, what is your project about very shortly?
Sure. So Liberdy is building out the first data foundation to allow users to get rewarded whenever their personal information is being used.
Okay. So is it a protocol or is it a specific step?
So it's a protocol in that sense that we welcome other companies to participate, use the data that we have for different use cases.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, in a way, it's a way for people to liquidate their data in various ways.
All right. So if I say like, for instance, I don't know, maybe my medical data, I'm going to submit it on your protocol. And then I have the right to share it with anyone I want to share it with, right? Okay. I have the ownership of the data, right?
Yeah, first off, you are the owner of the data.
Right. And then when I share it, I'm going to get paid by the entity who's actually using my data.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, I mean, if this is a protocol, what kind of depths are you looking for to be put on your protocol? Okay,
so first off, we're kicking off the project by addressing the advertising ecosystem.
Okay.
So this is where me as an entrepreneur, this is what I've been doing for the past few years. Also the media hub that we're launching the project from. So we know a lot about the advertising ecosystem. So we're starting off by getting back your anonymized information, right, to the very same market that is now using your data without paying for that in any way.
Right.
Right. So, but we're structuring up the project in a way that if you are a company holding some kind of a medical information or any other sort of information, you would also be able to facilitate this concept of granting access to other companies to your anonymized data. So whenever your data is being used, you are getting rewarded. So we are starting off with one vertical, which is the advertising.
All right.
And then the protocol is something that will help other companies, other data companies, to board on our platform and use it.
All right.
In the very same way.
But the data transaction between, the data owner and the company, I mean, it's just one way, right? I mean, the owner will give the data to the company, right? And the company cannot use it without the owner's permission with other companies. Can it sell it to other companies?
No, there's no way to resell the data. This is how we build it.
All right.
Right, so you cannot sell the data. But more than that, right, looking at the advertising ecosystem, for example, there is no use in reselling the data. You cannot, but let's say you could. There is no use in selling this because it has to be updated over and over again.
Right.
But we don't allow that, right? So we make sure our tech supports this limitation, so-called, so people won't be able to resell that. So you give your consent, whether it's for a specific marketer or a specific vertical. You can opt out whenever you want to.
All right.
Right? And we do the actual facilitation, the actual monetization for you.
Okay, then my question is, does the protocol also involve some kind of data analytics, for targeted marketing, for instance?
Yeah, definitely. So we have, imagine this kind of a pyramid with like 4 different levels. One of them is the raw data. And as you go to the top, what we call the wisdom, right? It's a way for us to crunch the data, make it much more suitable for certain industries.
Right.
Right. So it allows the companies using the data to use more complex way of targeting people. Again, fully anonymous.
All right.
So we keep you anonymous.
And is it like artificial intelligence driven, or the analytics?
Right.
That's kind of a trend right now.
It is a trend. It is a part of our tech. But not only that, we have some other ways for us to crunch the data. Right. This is part of our, so to speak, secret sauce.
Okay.
Right. So we came up with prediction models just because we are now capable of providing hybrid profiles coming from different data sources, which are not standardized.
I don't get it. Hybrid. It's a totally new concept to me.
It is. So let's say you're getting a data from one single source.
All right.
Let's say we get your anonymized Google data.
Okay.
And then you also give your consent to provide your anonymous Facebook data.
All right.
So if we put these two together and we match them, so this is like a hybrid approach for profile marketing.
All right.
Okay?
I mean, it's more comprehensive, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But how can you, I mean, because, you know, the advertising needs or the target market or the potential consumers of every industry should be very different in some cases. In that case, I mean, how can you, I mean, so the analytics, you know, I'm very interested. So this analytics is actually has like a general, you know, platform, and then you customize on top of it, you know, for each industry and company. Is that how it works, or?
So imagine like we take the, like everyone around us here, yeah, and we put labels, right? So we might share some like similar labels in terms of demographic, but we might have different labels in terms of our interests. So what we do is we build segments, and then whenever different marketers approach, they can mix and match the different segments.
All right.
So they can build dynamically, right? They build their audience dynamically.
All right.
Right, by using the different segments.
I know. It's like a play and block. I'm like building blocks.
Right.
It's like building blocks, right?
Yeah, it's like playing with Lego.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, maybe, because, you know, I'm not a marketing guy, you know, I'm a layman when it comes to marketing, but what I can think of, you know, reasonably is that, I mean, for companies to use your analytics directly, I mean, there is a high possibility that actually it would not fit their business purposes. What is your answer against that?
Right, so what we do in order to avoid this kind of a situation, and since we are guys coming from the advertising, right? So we're building up the tech in such a way that it would go within the current advertising funnels. So for you as an advertising, we don't actually change anything.
All right.
We just make your data worth much more because it's verified, and because, going back, it's hybrid, right? It's like a combination of different profiles.
Right.
Right? So as a marketer, you would use the very same language that you're using today to target your audience, but this time you would know for sure that this data is verified, and then you get access to the data, which is up to this point was only accessible through the walled gardens of the Facebooks.
All right. Okay. Right? So, but anyway, at the end of the day, I mean, it's the company's job to actually, you know, use their own analytics to put value into that data. Is that correct?
So
because your system, I mean, it will be very solid. I know that, but, you know, still, I mean, there will be, you know, the possibility that, like I said already, that, you know, the data, I mean, because you will provide the necessary data, and then, you know, you will also analyze the data so that you can help them with targeted marketing, with effective marketing. But still, you know, there will be a high possibility that many companies actually will say that, you know, oh, you know, I cannot use this, you know, as it is. You know, I have to, you know, some kind of, you know, come up with my own analytics or something, you know, at the back end, for instance.
Right. So, so again, this is how actually things are working today, right? Those marketers are building user profiles for them to later target.
Right.
So they can do the same, right? But they would have much more accurate data. So we're not changing the way they work today with data. So in that sense, it's a perfect match, right? We're not saying, well, this is a new way for marketers to approach users.
Right.
This is not what we're saying. We're saying that keep on doing the same as an advertiser, as an ad agency, but we would show you that the data is verified, and we would also show you that the quality is by far better than anything else that you have experienced so far. But the way you do that remains the same. Okay. Right? So this is why, like, they would keep on using the same methods, using our platform, but get different results.
Right. So okay, I see it. You know, it's a data protocol.
Right.
It's a big data protocol. So how do you attend? I know that you use the tokens to incentivize the submission of data.
Right.
But I mean, to me, it's just, you know, it will take time. If I think about it, you know, I think it will take enormous time. But you need a lot of data to make this protocol really meaningful to the players. But, you know, just by the token, honestly, I think, you know, it's not enough. What is the answer to that?
So we are, even though we are, so to speak, experts in user acquisition, this is not what we're doing, right? We're building up a model where we are approaching publishers, web developers, New York Times, CNN, Yahoo, right? And we not only help them when on their need to comply with the GDPR regulation,
right?
So we also provide them with a way to increase their revenue stream. So, and this is why I was presenting the company as a data liquidity protocol, right? So we work, just as an example, with websites like you know, Times, right? And then we allow users to get access to premium content by paying with their data.
Okay.
So it's not like I would go directly to you. So I would go through those places where you go and you buy digital content. So now you can use your own money, right? But we now offer you an alternative. So either paying with your own money or paying with your data, right? So this is how we would go to you, incentivize you to be part of this, okay? And you can think about different models.
So user, do you mean user like me or user as a company?
No, user like yourself. Okay. User like yourself, right? If you play any kind of a game, right, like an app or that, and you're looking to do some in-app purchases, right? So you can use your money or you can use your data.
All right.
For the part of the money, right, we have the financial world, right?
Right.
For the part of the data, we have Liberty. Yeah. So we work with these kind of partners, right? App developers, publishers, to make sure that people can now pay with their data.
All right. So paying data means that, you know, I sell my data, get paid by the tokens, and use the tokens to buy something.
Exactly.
Okay, that's the scheme. All right. So why do you think? I have a rough idea, but I just want to hear from you. Why do you think as a protocol, your token value will stay, steadily increase in the future? What's your rationale?
Okay, so first of all, there are like multiple reasons, right? Going back to the way I've described our project, so we're setting up a non-profit company surrounded by for-profit company that will be granted access to the platform.
Okay.
We lead by example. We're building the first for-profit company. We're about to share 85% with the users, right? And then we welcome more companies to become a part of this ecosystem. So as we grow, you would see more and more data players stepping into our protocol, our platform, and monetize your data. So as you go, more and more companies would pay for your data. One. Two, we partner with more publishers, right? With more app developers, so you would have more and more places where you can actually spend your tokens.
All right.
Right? So when you bring this ecosystem alive, right? So the driver behind that, the token, the actual data economy, should go up.
I understand that the consumer, the data provider, he will most probably like it very much to get tokens. But what about the company? You already have for-profit companies, right? As partners, right? They are using your platform, your protocol, right, to buy the data, right? That's what you're saying, right?
We have one for-profit company, So we're building the non-profit, which is the data repository, and then a for-profit company.
Oh, for-profit. I'm sorry. I thought it was for.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So a for-profit company. We have some partnership which we have announced just recently. And this ecosystem is now growing.
What is the role of this for-profit company?
So that's the one that sells the data back to the marketing. It's a DMP. It's a data management platform.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so this guy receives all the data, it buys all the data, and then resells the data to the market?
Right.
Okay, and then in the market, because this for-profit company is on the same umbrella with the non-profit organization, right?
Those are different companies.
It's a different company?
Right.
And you will grow this for-profit company network?
Yeah, we welcome more other third party to come over. we would consider investing in some of them. So
Okay.
they would bring more value to our users.
So
as we go.
this one for-profit company right now, which is already on board, I mean, which area is it, focusing on?
Advertising.
Advertising.
Right.
What other company can be a candidate
So
for?
there are so many verticals within the advertising ecosystem, so we can see the next few coming from the same vertical but using the data differently, right? So the partnership we have announced is another company from the advertising ecosystem, but there would be more than that, right?
All right.
Think about lead generation, right? Or mobile advertising, whether it's performance-based,
Right.
and there is much more to that.
Okay, so where does the profit for your protocol comes from then? Are these companies paying you, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's a license fee. Yeah, they have a license fee and they pay for the data by using our tokens.
Right. Okay, license fee and then they pay by token.
Right.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything stronger that will, kind of support the value of your token?
No, in what sense stronger?
I don't know, that's about the protocol, because protocol, somehow can be a very vague idea, actually, to audiences. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because most people are very, familiarized with dApps, right? And protocol, it's hard, I agree, but it's a very vague, could be a very vague idea to audiences. How do I make my money? I mean, that's the point, actually.
Okay, so the thing about not being vague here is because we are EdTech veterans. So we have a very clear business model, how we make it work.
Yeah.
Right? So we're building up a DMP. This is not a new concept in any way. There are DMP around there, right?
What's
so
a DMP?
A DMP is a data management platform.
Oh, right, okay.
So one of the guys that built one out of the 2 largest DMP in the world is part of our team right now, okay? So this is not about, well, let's see how would it work. So we have a business model, we have the structure, we have the market access, because those were people we used to work with a few years back, right? So when you take all of those parameters, right, and you consider them, so it's not vague anymore, right? It's not like just a concept. It's a true business model. It's a business model that connects with an existing business model, working one, right? And by sharing 85%, we show our users, right? We show them revenues.
Okay. But anyway, so the main problem that you want to tackle is actually the monetization of data, right? Because, so far the data is actually not monetized, right?
So the data is actually monetized, but by just few companies. Right? So companies like Facebook and Google and Amazon, which are amazing companies, right? But they are the one to monetize your data.
Right.
So you give them that for free or almost for free.
Yeah.
So what we're saying essentially is you might as well get a piece of this pie. So we monetize that data for you outside of the walled gardens of Facebook and Google, right? So the act of monetizing data is not something that we have invented.
All right.
We're just making you as a user a partner. That is, I wouldn't say equal partner, but for the lack of a better word, I would say so. You become a partner for this data monetization ecosystem, which drives our century right now, right?
Right.